Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to SimTraX Broadcasting. We are here at the Infineon Speedway, or Sears Point, more likely known here, for the Gen 4 cars with the National Oval Racing Association. The Dodge SaveMart 350 kicks off here tonight with Brady Moats starting us in the lead. We'll go ahead and give you a lowdown of what this race will consist of here tonight. 66 laps we're going to be running with a 77% fuel limit, 10 sets of tires down there in the pits. Of course, this being a fixed setup, and no fast repairs. Big thing I want to point out here is incident limits. Once drivers start dropping tires off into the dirt, which they do it about 17 times, which it only takes 2 incident limits per tire off the track there, that is going to go ahead and knock it around there a little bit, and we'll see how that works out for these guys, and if they end up getting some drive-through penalties tonight. Race control will have to be on the side here, as it's going to be pretty rough here tonight. With 127 degrees out here in California, the Sonoma Raceway is looking pretty rough here tonight. So drivers already locking and loading here. Formation lap, you see the pace car heading on off though. So let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid with Stella joining alongside Midnight. And do really appreciate Greg Phillison joining us here tonight. Stella, what do you say we get going here?
I think that'd be a great idea.
Beautiful. That is a great way for a mic check here. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our starting grid with Brady Moats starting in the number 1 car, starting first. Ryan Shelton starts second, moving on to Mike Moultrie. Long time no see. The Silver Bullet returns back to the track. Glad to see him out there as he'll be starting the inside. Josh Conover. Dustin Kleba sits 5th with Vincent Arthur in the 6th position, which oddly enough, Jeff Gordon was the one to win this race here. So only third row back there. All right, moving on to Ryan Housden and Tony Ball. Brian Jones starts 9th. Nick Gillis with a top 10 start. Kevin Baumler will be starting in the 11th position next to Timmy Harper. Timmy Harper had a pretty decent race last race, if I do say so myself. Moving on to John Scavanicki, who starts 13th. Cody Reeder, hey, there's an Evernham Motorsports driver, 14th. We move on to Jake Christenberry as they work their way through the chicane. Logan Hagerman will be starting to his outside. Albert Lopez is 17th. Moving on to Matthew George. Joseph Andujar starts in 19th. And Kyle Rochelle. Now, Rochelle's got a lot of work to do as he'll be starting way in the back of this pack. And oddly enough, yes, road course, I've got a ton of drivers out here tonight. Cody Smith starts 21st next to Derek Chapeau starting in 22nd. Moving on to row number 12, Dalton Tucker and Jacob Gladelick. Really far back start for the number 20, as a lot of success was had there by the Tony Stewart car. Eric Essery, notice him out there in the Tide machine. He's in the 32. He'll be starting in 25th. Cody Height to his outside. Jeff Dillon, Chase Durheim, and Christopher Darling. Darling, he's out there as a part-time driver, but looks like he's going to be running a lot of races here. Anthony Krobrack, Bradley James, and Kurt Quist. Rounding out our field. Stella, we are ready to go here. Drivers in the front, and Barney has got the green flag out. Away we go. Quick start here in the front for Brady Moats. Moats is trying to get some decent separation as it bottlenecks around the turn here. Looks like we got cars tumbling up already. I think Josh Conover's caught up in it. No caution. There it is.
We got Dustin Kleba, Josh Conover, and possibly Vincent Arthur also.
Yes, all 3 of these big-name drivers down and out here. And they are looking to collect themselves back together. You want to talk about a hard mix-up here. Vincent Arthur loses 24 positions. Kleba loses 26. Conover losing the most with 28. Checking for damage on these cars out there as the Budweiser machine looks to get the worst of it. Check in on this Monte Carlo here and see if he's got anything. Looks like he's not folded up too bad. Drone footage moves over to the 24. A-OK. Dustin Kleba looks okay as well. So, Stella, I've got to say, early caution here. Yep, I was expecting that here, double file. Fortunately, here in the 04 season, these guys did end up single file restarts. So this will give these guys a little bit of an opportunity to not have any trouble out there.
Well, at least we won't have that double file because they haven't had the opportunity for anyone to go a lap down yet. So we will have a nice, calm, single file restart.
All right, let's take a look here. It says Tony Ball actually got caught up in it as well. Tony Ball looks to seem to be okay, but we'll kind of take a look back here. I'm concerned of Vincent Arthur. I'm wondering if he got pushed from the back here. As a couple of guys are going to go ahead and visit down pit road to give a quick check here. This is start of the green flag. We're going to kind of speed it up a little bit here to get through into the second turn. Turn 1 here, and here's the crunch up. Right here. Vincent Arthur catches the back, and it looks like everybody gets squirted out around there.
Yeah, but Josh Conover made a funny little click of a move right before the bridge.
Yeah, notice the
there.
Yeah, it looks like he spun the tires right there, which drops the right side tires off. You see the little scrape there, and all three of them, Arthur and the Conover and the Kaliba, and the 02 just nicks the 24 as they get on around. So fortunately, Tony Ball didn't lose too many positions, only 4 there. So that drops him from the 8th position down to 12th there for the 02 Chevrolet.
I kind of hope we end up with Tony Ball up on the podium tonight, because I would love to ask him about his flag. That should be the Democratic Republic of Congo?
Yes, I do believe so, and I think he was pulling somebody's chain. When they gave the update out here to go ahead and push these new cars out, he thought it would be funny.
Oh, okay. No problem. I mean, we've had guys from the Ukraine running. I mean, we've had guys from Australia running. I see no problem. That's one you don't see all the time.
Yep. All right, you see the caution flag straight up in air.
So next time around we go green?
Yes.
All right. Well, that means Kaliba, Quist, Arthur, Darling, and Cody Smith had better get a move on, because they are still sitting down the pit.
Yeah, that they are. They'll be looking to work their way out of here in just a moment. I think there's some trouble here. Looks like, I don't know if that's damage here on the right front fender of the 22.
Does look like it.
Yeah. It looks like everybody is going ahead and squirting out so far. Vincent Arthur still remains in pits. Looks like throwing on a set of tires as he goes ahead and passes through the Dodge machine. As you can check out there in the chat, that Jay out there is saying, so weird to see the 9 on a Ford. But that is the only ones that they have pushed out there.
Is the Chevy and a Ford.
Yep.
It was just Chevy. I'm happy to at least have Fords.
I think we could probably poke Jay out there, and he might be able to tell us. Toyota had not come into the scene yet, I believe. I don't know whether it was Dodge was in the scene 100% or if it was Pontiac that was still in the scene on this one. I knew back with Tony Stewart, he was back in the Pontiac, though. So I don't think there were a whole lot of Dodges. Right now, Brady Moat's going to get a restart here. Moat, Shelton, and Moultrie still remain in their original positions here as we get ready to go. All right, Barney, you ready to go here? Wrapping around the curve. Pace car in the pits, and here we go.
Beautiful start.
A lot better than last time as we come up to the troublesome turn here that we originally had. Move back just a little bit here. Ooh, starting to double stack out there with John Scavanicki already moving his way up to the front. Driver out there in the 48 of Jimmy Johnson's car of Jake Christenberry taking a couple of looks there. Decides to fall back just a little bit, and he's going to re-attack, looking for another angle out there.
Well, some of these guys are using a little bit more of the track than is actually paved, but looks like no harm, no foul.
As they still continue forward, moving on to Crowback, who's gained 7. Expect Josh Conover, we see him kind of peeking into the picture here just a little bit. As currently the 26th place he's battling for. Looking for 25 if he can get past Bradley James there, but James is fending him off really well out there in the number 4. Looks like he's out there in the payday machine. I believe the number 4 used to be the old Kodak machine. That was the tumble up between there and I believe the 77. Yeah, work on that one there, Stella. Moving on.
Not.
Here's the pinch here with the U-turn. Normally this is where we'll see a lot of passing. Notice how Conover gets one, looking for the second there. As Jacob Gladelick is under fire, that'll be for the 24th position. Gladelick cuts the nose off.
Not today, Josh, not today.
All right, everybody does fend off. I watched Dalton Tucker during practice. He had this track down to a science out there. Terrible qualifying time for him as he starts way in the back of this race, but he was actually running second during practice earlier today. So right now, seeing the Haviland machine trying to see if he can fight his way back to the front or up to the front where he should have originally started. It's really confusing how he ended up starting so far back. Now I'm checking here. There is no penalties against the number 42 out there for getting knocked down as they work their way through the chicane. So he should have had a decent qualifying time.
Yeah, I do not see. We have several fellas, Kurt Quist, Anthony Kropak, Chance Durheim, Brad Fulham, Martin Clute.
Moultrie around.
Christopher Darling. We're all do not qualifies tonight, so that explains them starting in the back.
Moultrie going from 3rd to 8th here. And that moves Tony Ball up to the 7th position. So after the 4 he originally lost, he gets right back to it. I believe Eric Essery suffers the same fate here. Essery in the 32. He drops down to now 29th. Fought his way up to the front, no dice. Let's check back in on Eric Essery and see what spins him out here. Yep, quick cut. Oh, you saw the right front tire slide, so that's going to get him out of shape.
Over rotation. Looks like somebody's done exactly the same thing,
yes, right? Exactly that is exactly how Mike Moultrie went. This is him as he had moved up to second, trying to see if he could undercut Brady Moats. Oh, Moats catches it. And the 2 of Ryan Shelton. Can't really blame Shelton there. The 40 got out of shape in front of him. And you said something earlier about Christopher Darling not being able to qualify. The number 16 ends up in some trouble as we are taking a look at this replay. Does he get dumped? Yes, he does. 51
yes,
machine
does.
him. And the Greg Biffle machine gets maimed. Bummer.
Yes. Well, Tyler DeTalent has chosen to race on the screen out there in the chat rather than out here on the track.
Yep.
But he's rooting on Kevin Baumler to...
39 machine of Kyle Rochelle off the wall. That is not originally who I saw wrecking. Right now, he is way out of shape. There's a ton of damage. We'll see if he ends up with a flag here. Race control taking a look at him.
Jay, where's your 200-mile-an-hour tape?
Yeah, 39 bouncing off the bottom here. And that car not driving the way he wants. It got a hard look at the 39. Stellar taking a look. Notice how when he brakes, that bumper coming disconnected and then almost stick him back on. Right now, yeah, Baumler. I'm wondering if he's got a steering problem here. Let's get on the inside. Oh! Dumps the 4 of Bradley James.
Oh, man.
Wow, look how crooked the steering wheel is here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then again, he is turning right.
Yeah, 39 here, now missing the front bumper.
Well, I think he left it over there with Bradley James's back end.
Yeah, Bradley James felt this one after getting into the back of Christopher Darling. He's in the back here. Disconnects the bumper to give himself a little less room and connects with him. And we are getting bumper donations here so far. I believe Timmy Harper and Mike Moultrie. I don't think they got in it, but they might have. Let's take a look. Here's Moultrie. And the 84. What?
Oh.
And Moultrie destroyed.
My. Oh,
yep.
yeah.
That
Hoods
stopped
up,
the car.
bumpers down. Kyle Rochelle is now in the pit. So we'll see if he is going to try to get that fixed up. Oh, yep, he's going to have to go down there too.
Yeah, I think Moultrie, his car is destroyed here. I'm showing Andrew R is off track as well. Let's take a look. brakes, catches the CarQuest machine, hard shot to the wall.
Boy.
Yep. And he takes out the tires here, and that's not good. Yep.
No.
He's done. So Moultrie jumps to the pits here. I think he's going to take it back to the garage. That's going to do it for him. Kyle Rochelle currently sits down pit road as more than just damage, so he ends up in some trouble. Let's check in on Andrew Har, who might have ended up in some trouble back here on lap number 8 and see what happens. Whoop, little skip there. And Esri.
Don't help, don't help. Oh, he helped.
Well, he came over and into him, so right now a little dirt will be coming back onto the track. That's going to cause a little trouble out there. Dustin Klebel working his way on around. And just as fast as we can do that, right now I'm showing some trouble out of Anthony Kroback here. Kroback in the U-turn. Kroback! Loops it.
Oh. Okay.
Christopher Darling dodging another bullet there.
I guess they don't worry about the going backwards scenario here.
Nope. All right, so out of that wreck there with Mike Moultrie back on lap number 7, it looks like Timmy Harper is able to get it into pit road. 2 drivers taking it back to the garage now. Mike Moultrie and Kyle Rochelle. Rough race tonight for both those gentlemen as they would keep the battle going. I want to check in on Brady Moats, who is already starting to lap a few guys. Moultrie, Rochelle, I believe he's got Harper behind him now. And that makes 3. Nailing down his fastest time here of the night is going to go to the 24 machine here of Vincent Arthur.
I think he and Ryan Shelton and Brady Moats are the only ones so far. Uh-oh, Nick Geilis off track. That are sub 119. Yep,
Still.
we lost.
I was going to say still. All right. Nick Geilis, you're saying is having a problem. I'm having trouble finding
Yes.
Geilis.
12 tonight.
Sitting up in the 7th position. That was the number 19. Whoa. And Stella, can we confirm that Geilis is supposed to be in the 19 or in the 12?
In the 12, I do believe.
Okay. Currently looks like he's not going to be in that car here. I'm used to seeing the all-tail machine out there. Look here. Ryan Houston actually being pretty quiet out there. Moving up to 3rd. Dalton Tucker up 17 to sit 6th. As these tires set in. A lot of guys moving around. I think Jake Christenberry got in some trouble here. Christenberry currently sitting in pits. Eric Essery working his way down into pit road. See what happens to the Christenberry. Whoop. Uh-oh. That's a technical problem. 48.
Oh.
Went around the side and looked like almost disconnected there. Looks like he lost a monitor. All right, where's Albert Lopez? 96 of the Lucas Oil machine. One of the Lucas Oil cars. Gets in some trouble. Right now getting put under fire here by Kurt Quist. This is back to the 22nd position. And punts himself. Albert Lopez out. Well, a lot of guys are taking that outside line. Some of them are just taking a little more than they should. Bradley James is still rolling around out there without a front bumper. Smoking the tires as he gets around. Bradley James sitting currently 25th. Eric Essery came down in the pit in the 32. Still suffering some right front damage. Normally we do try to stay in the front out here, but only in front by a quarter of a second as Brady Moats in front of Ryan Shelton. That's number 2 has been trying to find out how to get around him here. Oddly enough, numbers matching positions they're running. They're looking to see if they can switch it up. Jay out there saying it's a, quote, exciting race. I feel sarcasm in that. But I would say this is actually the most full road course race I've ever seen. We started with 32 drivers here tonight. 3 have checked out. Moultrie, Rochelle, and Christenberry. Not fully completed here on Timmy Harper. I've seen him return. We'll see if Timmy Harper can come back. He's currently sitting in the pits for the last 4.5 minutes as he sits in the 30th position. Right now, only driver to come into pits in the top 10 is Vincent Arthur. He's currently running in 9th. No stages here. Remember that, guys. No stages here in the 2003-2004 season. Already looking into the 2005 season here with the National Oval Racing Association. I am expecting the Gen 4 Cups to continue. These guys are saying they enjoy these cars out of any car here on the circuit. Definitely tune in some of the dirt racing, IndyCar racing, or next gen racing that they do have. Stella, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe they hold next gens on Tuesday.
Ooh, I believe you. I was just down in the pits talking to Nick Geilis, and he confirmed he is in the 12 all-tell.
So that may be that trading paint little hiccup we've got out there.
Sitting in 7th place. Cody Reeder should be in the Mountain Dew 19. Oh. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah. So, is one of them an all-tell and one of them a Mountain Dew?
Well, one of them's an all-tell. Well, one of them's a Mountain Dew, and one of them's the normal Dodge car that he runs.
Oh, Lord.
This would be Mr. Cody Reeder. So we won't sweat it too much. I'm sure it'll. We'll get an update here pretty soon. Whoop. Right.
That's an update. It's the Stig.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Nick Geilis. There we go.
Nice.
All right. Did Cody Reeder fix? Waiting on it. Cody Height.
Not having the clash with the Codys, right?
I don't believe so. Jay's out there saying maybe the test car.
See?
All right. But Cody Height, though, has moved up 13 positions. Not bad for starting back at 26. He's currently sitting in the 13th. Derek Chaput moves up 6 with Chase Durheim currently sitting in front of him. Out there in the number 99 in the roundup machine.
Have we seen the other half, the 96 Chance Durheim yet?
No, I'm showing the 96 currently is Albert Lopez tonight.
Oh, already.
Yeah, I believe only one Durheim made it here tonight.
Okay.
Some of these guys are part-time drivers. Words of the grapevine is I think there is 90 drivers as yes, 20 team owners and over 90 with a sub role.
Wow.
So to me, that is beautiful because one, I can almost guarantee full fields. Two, that if I'm a team owner, one of my cars will make it out there.
Yes. Without a doubt.
Regardless of placement, they'll still be able to do it. But would like to note that Ryan Shelton has overtaken for the lead.
Oh,
and
shame on him.
And Brady Moats is back here. Just thought it'd be a good idea to point that out.
Back 2.5 seconds. Wow, because the two of them, Brady Moats and Ryan Shelton, were about 4 seconds ahead of Brian Housden at one point. But now look, how the tables have turned.
Yep. All right, so here's what happens to Brady Moats. Ooh, tire hop. Ooh. I think he's going to get him in the U-turn here. Yep. Hard right turn. Brady Motes tries to switch him up here. Gets through the chicane. Motes side by side. Yeah, Motes is out of shape here. He's got to back out of it. Oh.
Yep.
And that is what they're going to call cutting the track, which means he does have to let off the gas. And notice how that's where it lets out. Yep. So they hold him for 2.5 seconds, allowing Shelton to pull away.
I was going to say, how long do you know you have to let off the gas?
iRacing has calculated that.
Okay, so it will tell him on his heads up?
Yes. On his heads up display that he cut the track, and he should have gained 2.5 seconds by cutting the track. So it'll make him let off the gas for 2.5 seconds, and then allow him to re-engage.
Well, that is outstanding.
Yes.
Versus having to come to a stop or do a green flag drive-through or all the other wonderful things. Wow, that's excellent.
Yep. Well, if you remember anything of the Charlotte Roval, it was easier for the guys to come to a complete stop than to let off the gas situation, because taking that slice through the center, they said was a minimum of almost an 11-second shave, plus penalty. So if you just came to a stop, it would almost drop to 0 immediately, and then you were able to take off.
I remember that someone ended up being DQ'd because they didn't do the stop.
Yes.
Okay.
They were still rolling.
Gary, I remembered.
Right.
This is a red letter day.
So Ryan Shelton does lead by almost 3 seconds now. Shelton was able to hang out there with Brady Motes. So as you can see, Ryan Shelton firing around this field as he is starting to put drivers laps down here. That was the 51 there, Kurt Quist in the 22nd position. Eric Essery is doing whatever he can to try to burn the tires off this car to get away. Eric Essery pit back on lap number 10, and currently he's got the leader in his rear view. Notice the number 2 does have some damage to the front nose of his car. So we'll see if Ryan Shelton ends up in any trouble. Brady Motes trying to chase him down. And I would say Brady Motes taking a look back at that pass that ended up getting it. If Motes had let out and continued to let Ryan Shelton go around, he may have been able to get back in his line. Because racing through that chicane out of your normal racing line is a very, very hard task to kind of maintain out there, because you're almost switching back 3 or 4 times trying to come back from it. But currently, right now, as we sit here with Brady Motes, he is not gaining any ground on Ryan Shelton.
No, it does not appear so. But we do have LJ Hernandez out there who is rooting for number 45 of Brian Jones.
Yep.
And we have Alanis King out there who's also rooting for the same one. Oh, and it's his birthday.
Oh, boy. He would like to be able to come away with a win then, currently sitting in 6th. Vincent Arthur is sitting about 9 seconds behind him, though. And right now, watch the 45 dive bombing in there. Good cut.
Nice.
Oh, man. Slides the back end out just a little bit in the 01.
Oh.
Around he goes.
Joseph Andujar, come back.
And well, that is not the first time here tonight. But currently, you see how he's moving through the track. They're going to get him for cutting the track here. As he gets back in. I do not see any penalties here tonight. For what's going on out there. Anybody given any penalties.
Okay.
So that is
so in
good.
other words, no drive-throughs yet for
Correct.
incident points.
Right. So
and
I do
no
not.
DQs.
Oh, do I have Ryan Housden? Housden in trouble. That is one of our top 5 drivers here. Ryan Housden, I believe, sitting 3rd, gets mixed up here. And that's what Dalton Tucker was waiting on. And I believe Brian Jones got around him as well. Whoop.
Yep. He was kind of out of shape going into that turn, it looked like.
And one thing to look at here, Stella, is when you've got guys, you've got to hit your marks, you've got to get around. And this looks like a fact of overheating the tires out there. And it's hard once you overheat them to get them to stop. is you don't really take it easy. You want them nice and even. Press a little more where you can. But let's say you pick up 4 to 5 miles an hour faster on the front or back stretch than more than what you set your car up for. We're going to start overheating the tires. We're going to start overheating the brakes, and then it starts getting slippery out there. And I'm just thinking Ryan Housen tried to get just a little more on that last run where Dalton Tucker was starting to reel him in. And it just got him a little out of shape. Unfortunately, it's dropped Ryan Housen back down to the 6th position, where I believe Vincent Arthur will be looking to attack. Here comes Vincent Arthur now. Boy, a little more of a straight angle there. Vincent Arthur sitting in 7th. Josh Conover back to 8th. Remember, these guys all got collected. The only one unable
they're
to
all up here.
Yeah, the only one unable to return is Dustin Kleba.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe we have some gentlemen who have taken it back to the garage already.
Yes, a few more than expected. Remember, I said Moultrie, Rochelle, and Christenberry had taken it out. I think Christenberry had lost some sort of a disconnection out there, but he was able to get off the track. The surprising one, Timmy Harper, I said last time we checked, he was down in pit road for the last 4.5 minutes. Well, he made it to 7.5, and I think his pit crew said that's enough. So the 84 CarQuest machine down and out, and the 51 of Kurt Quist starting back in the dead last position there, fights his way up to 27th and done for the night. Now we're going to hold our breath on the 96 of Albert Lopez. Currently, he has been sitting down in pit road, coming up on 5 minutes here. And Albert Lopez has yet to take it back to the garage. That means we do lose our back 6 drivers, leaving us with 26 still alive out there. But the ones who have really come alive, I like showing off here, are Dalton Tucker moving up 19. Brian Jones moving up into the top 5. Chase Durheim has gained 14, so especially starting from 28th. Not bad to get in the top 15 here. Anthony Kroback gaining 11. And that is for a 30th place start. That is huge. See, he is in the top 20. So I would say, to me, even if I don't come in the top 15, drivers like Anthony Kroback, right now he's got to put this as a win column for him. This is battling from the back, slicing through 11 more drivers. If he can get a top 20 finish, especially after how his night has been going, I would say that even when Kroback had a spin out there on lap number 8 and is still in the top 20, not bad. All right, let's take a look as Dustin Kleba coming down pit road here. We'll keep an eye. This seems a little early. Remember, Dustin Kleba did come in earlier.
Yeah, because we are looking at about 30 laps on fuel at the 77% mark.
Yeah, I'm looking, Stella, if this is a drive-through here. It does not appear so. Down into pit road here, Kleba. Right side tires are up. All right, looks like he's going to try to take a full pit stop here. Let's move back up to Brady Moats, who's still, unfortunately, continuing to lose time to Ryan Shelton. Brady Moats coming on down pit road. He says, all right, that's enough. Fresh rubber for me. Let's get back out there. Dalton Tucker joining that same philosophy.
Okay. Brian Jones, Vincent Arthur, 2 more coming in.
Right, yep. A lot of our big names, and oddly enough, it all seems almost everybody from the exact same team. Hendrick Motorsports. Conover to Arthur. We'll expect to see Matthew George, see if they join him. Matthew George back in the 21st position.
Nick Geilis, Kevin Baumler, Cody Reeder.
Yeah.
All coming in.
So Evernham Motorsports, Dale Earnhardt Incorporated coming down, Hendrick coming down.
Cody Height, Logan Hagerman. Kroback stays out. But Chapu in the 38 and Jacob Gladelick on the Evo car coming in.
All right. Kroback will gain a ton of possessions here. This will put him up to the top 10, but I think it'll be short-lived. They're going to need a tire check and a top off on fuel as Ryan Shelton the last driver from Penske, Jasper Racing, coming on down. As the number 2 Rusty Wallace Miller Lite car looking to make his way. He has to make it all the way to the end of pit road. To hit that number 2 pit stall here is, wow, as he starts cutting it there. Number 20 of right now, Jacob Gladelick, not going to be happy that the number 2 almost cuts him off. That'll be a quick switch up here. Number 2 enters the pit box. That's going to put our driver, Tony Ball, into the lead. He's going to go out there and see if he can get a lead lap here. Showing no caution so far. I was talking earlier about Matthew George coming down into pit road. As it shows, George has unfortunately met his demise. Currently, Matthew George does wreck out here. Let's take a look at what happens with the 25. Whoa. Yep, a little cockeyed there. Ouch.
Ooh. Yep, we got some pieces and parts flying on that one.
That does not bring out a caution here. So
he was trying.
Yeah, it must have involved
he gave
one
it a
driver.
Yeah, but he said, if I drive back about a good 20, 30 yards, nope, not today.
Fortunately, he doesn't suffer as much damage as we had thought.
Still saw things flying. All right. We had a couple interesting pit stops, though. Cody Smith coming in was down there for almost a minute when everybody else was in the 14-second, 15-second range. That was drop lug nut, maybe?
Wow, does he get loose? There's a little, might possibly be an off-track incident. Looks like he's got some damage here. And he is battling through that car. That thing is handling like garbage right now. Looks like the right front does have damage, though.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I am going to be curious when iRacing comes out with the cut and tire, type of damage.
Yeah. There is a slight, it doesn't give an immediate blowout. What it will do is knock percentage off the tire once things start contacting, or if you got a tire locked up, and then there will be a blowout.
Oh, like a wear rating. Like when
Yes.
you come in and you have 70% left, you'll only
Right.
have 20%.
There you go.
Oh, interesting.
So, right
What
now,
happens when you hit 0?
bang.
I've never seen that.
Yep. Ask me how I know.
Oh, wow.
I made contact with the wall and was still racing top 3, and I couldn't figure out why I had trouble accelerating until you look in the rearview mirror, and I've got a black streak behind me, and then all of a sudden, bang, the tire let go. That was a Bristol
That'll
race,
do.
very tough.
Well, our leader, Tony Ball, coming in.
Yep, as that's going to put Ryan Housden, our driver who is still yet to pit here, the 98 Ford, now getting into the lead. As I believe Lucas Oil Machine is hanging out there. Chase Durheim working his roundup machine down pit road.
Bradley James is the last holdout also. He has yet to come into pit.
Yeah, Bradley James, unfortunately, still sitting down here in the 16th position. This gets one of his laps back, but he's still trying to fight back to the front. It is not going to happen. I think Bradley James, this is going to be short-lived here. Coming back down pit road comes Cody Smith.
I just realized he did not come down with the big swoop of people. He hit on lap 2 for that 1 minute. Must have been when we had the start kerfuffle.
Yep, quick spin out. All right, down pit road, looking to change those tires. They'll probably hang out down there for a little bit and make sure he's got this thing squared away. Keep tabs on him, but I want to move up to the 2 Ryans here in the front. Housden in front by 2.5 seconds as Ryan Shelton is looking to reel him in. 0-1 trying to play peekaboo out there as he blinks out.
Yes.
As Andrew R. dealing with a little trouble there. Where's the Army when you need them? Wow. Yep.
Right, never mind.
Well, you see he gets a little out of shape and gets back to that race line. So it's better just to let him go on by before it ruins your race. This is going to unfortunately release Ryan Shelton to try to run down Mr. Housden. And their Fords are definitely in competition here. Wow!
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, during practice, we saw number 42, Dalton Tucker, who is currently in 4th, up 19 places, hard charge of the evening so far, make the most amazing launch off of one of these turns to the point where he flew all 4 tires off of the track, up the hill, and then did a few flips just for style purposes. This can be a very, very challenging track.
And again, Mr. Housden still remains out there. Yet to hit 27 laps on these tires.
But losing time.
Yeah, well, I think it's inevitable. I would say he might be hoping for a caution, but as spread out as everybody is out here on the track, I do not believe that is going to be an option. Look at where everybody is.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep. Well, they definitely got a decent separation. Notice the number 10 car almost out there all by himself. Nobody in front or the back. That is Jeff Dillon. And right now, Housden in some trouble. Here he comes.
Man, he went by with authority.
Yep. Well, fresh tires on lap number 23 for Ryan Shelton.
Yes.
And now we have a new leader out there, or resuming the lead will be Ryan Shelton. And that is put, remember how Brady Motes was in the lead. Motes now sits back by 8 seconds. Fast Tracker Boats, number 1 Chevrolet. Trying to get his Monte Carlo back up there. I think we have more trouble here out of Cody Smith. Showing him hopping off the track there for a moment. Check in on Smith. Wow.
Yeah, Andujar just took a scenic tour as well. But, Bradley James has finally come down pit. Got himself a new set of shoes.
Yep. I don't know if you noticed when we kind of rode that drone footage looking back at Cody Smith. That was almost like a full drift around that turn. Very tough to do. Especially with the right front of that car and hops it. Avoid the tires. Now Cody Smith, I believe, is down a lap, unfortunately. This will be Brady Motes actually reeling him in. Brady Motes, their 3rd place car.
You know there's 25,000 tires around this track?
Now, whatever it takes to help keep our guys safe out there.
Yeah.
Going to smack with the wall.
I was going to say a lot better than that concrete.
Yep. Next driver to head up down into the garage here is Matthew Ford.
Uh-oh. But Ryan Housden is headed just down pit road.
Yep. Now, remember when we saw that hit? Well, the damage might not look bad enough, but after
6.5 minutes.
6.5 minutes, yeah. That does it for him. Currently showing 22 drivers still in the lead lap. I think that's going to be next here pretty soon. Christopher Darling, I think, is next on the chopping block. He's currently sitting in 21st.
Who is currently riding without a bumper.
Ryan Shelton, Brady Motes shifts up to 2nd. That's Christopher Darling, I believe, in front of him. That moves us back to Dalton Tucker, who's currently in 3rd. Tucker starting 23rd here on the night, right now sitting 3rd. This is an awesome job here by the Avalanche. Gets around Cody Smith, now has to try to run down Brady Motes, who's at least within range of 2 seconds. I don't know how Dalton Tucker's going to make up 10 3/4 to catch the leader. Ryan Shelton has been having a ton of bad luck here lately. And right now, I think it's finally going to pay off for him. His consistency out here is finally working.
Be saying things like that, you know what happens.
Well, Penske Jasper Racing has been having a heck of a time really trying to get a car into a podium position up here. Back and forth these guys have been going, and this race team has just been having horrible luck. Just cannot seem to, I mean, it's nothing against the guys. I mean, sometimes it's just there's nowhere you can be for it to be, you know, to be safe out there. Right now I'm taking a look here. These guys aren't even really out there. Penske Jasper Racing. 7 cars from 17 and 16 sitting in number 12. Right now, horrible run. Right now, they can really use a win. Right, Shelton is looking to do it. So hot here tonight. Roads out there in the number 1. Stella, if I'm not mistaken, the number 1 is currently sitting 4th out there.
I am
42, I believe.
What?
Currently sitting with Dalton Tucker. Chip
The
Nossen
1
Racing.
should be in second.
Lead. What's that?
You're saying the 1 is in 4th? The 1 is in 2nd?
For the owner standings.
Oh, heavens.
Yeah, I was looking back at owner-wise and how exactly the race is going for the Penske Jasper Racing team out there. So it's kind of separated to where the cars are. Currently, I'm looking at Penske Jasper Racing when we're kind of looking at chunks of cars. Right now, the crew is having some trouble out there. So Ryan Shelton looking to bring it home for these guys. And we are coming up on the halfway point here of this race. No stage cautions here, though. They will continue to race. We have seen a few spin-outs out there. I see Bradley James has some trouble and went off track again. Right now, Bradley James down pit road. I'm showing for the last 45 seconds. Taking a look. Bradley James here on lap number 30. He's a newest crash out here. And we'll take a look. Does Conover assist him? Conover definitely sharper on these turns. Before gets away, slips away, bam, into the rubber.
Wow. That just, I mean...
And it takes out the right front.
Oh, without a doubt.
So Bradley James will be down in pit for quite some time. Joseph Andujar has taken it back to the garage. That gives us 5, 7 drivers down to the garage. Wiped out here for the night.
Well, we are still rolling 23, however.
Yes. And checking lead lap. I believe Hagerman, one of our last drivers to go down a lap. Number 70, currently sitting in 17th. Is about to be under a lot of pressure here pretty soon. Take a look back. Whoop, that's somebody's bumper there. I think that might have been Nick Geilis's.
Oh, dear.
See the number 2 of Ryan Shelton. We're looking right now off the rear bumper here of Anthony Kroback.
Jeff Dillon, number 10, down in 23rd. Just went off track.
All right, let's see what happens. The guy, oh my God, it's the 70 hops it. Here comes the number 12. And yes, I was correct. Start finish line, donate the bumper.
Punch. Uh-oh.
Now, Geilis was able to refire and get it going again.
Yeah, I mean, looking at some of our fellows, I mean, Christopher Darling's been running without a bumper here for 30 laps.
Yeah. Look at the speed here. Currently, something's wrong here with Guileless.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going, but it's not wanting to.
Is this where we can look at the steering wheel and see if he's fighting it?
Yeah, it's possible. Right now, he is coming down pit road, so I think it's going to be a moot point.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he was just making sure everybody got around him and he realized his race might be over. So the original winner of the race goes to the 24 car. We move up to Vincent Arthur. Now back to his 5th position, Josh Conover, who started in front of him. Started 4th here on the night, currently sitting back in 6th. Right now, as Conover tries to stay out in front of Brian Jones by 3/4 of a second. Conover does have to find about 5 3/4 seconds to find Vincent Arthur still.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are stretched out. I mean, more than a half a second all the way through the field, and some like 6, 7 seconds. But yeah, this is Sears Point. I mean, Sonoma, Sears Point. This is Jeff Gordon's house. I mean, nobody. He's the only one to three-peat at this location. But I mean, he has 5 wins. He has 14 top 5s, 18 top 10s, 5 poles, which is the most, and I think like 457 laps or something like that led, which is also the most of anybody. So a California boy must have had some extra practice on this one.
Yep. Well, everybody seems to be at their home track a lot stronger there. I do question where'd Tony Stewart land in this? I knew Tony had a lot of success at this track as well.
I do not actually have him listed in in the main events, should I say, as far as track facts and history. I mean, he did win in 2016.
Okay, because I believe after Gordon, I think he retired, that Stewart went out there, and I think he won back-to-back here at Sears Point.
Yeah, but not 3 peats. Right. Tony Stewart is on the Wall of Fame inductees, if that makes you feel better since you're an orange guy.
Well, it's I noticed he kind of poked around out there a little bit. Noticed how he's doing drag racing, how he's been doing Indy racing. They would say he might be the best all-around driver out there. We'll take that. Keep and see. Conover still sitting in that 6th position, and now needs to, as I said, 5 3/4. Yeah, but now it's 6 3/4 now. He's looking for Vincent Arthur. Starting to pick up the speed here as we hop on top of the Pepsi machine. Currently, our 4th Taurus of Ryan Shelton leads it. Nothing but Monte Carlos through the rest of the top 5, even in 6th place. They are definitely chunked apart out there. As we are trying to find drivers that are somewhat close to somebody out here. Looking at Cody Height, here's a battle here for 13. Cody Height taking a look at Essery out there. As leading Jared Hughes. Ride has some trouble back there, a little blink. Jeff Dillon? Yes, it was. Jeff Dillon off track. We're having some problems here lately. Lap number 32. If this car loops it or what happens. Right there.
Yep.
So that's at the beginning of the chicane. And then 3 laps later, I think he suffers the same fate here. Lap number 35.
Oh. Heavens to Betsy.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Did he total it? Ryan Housden has suffered some damage here, the Lucas Oil machine.
Oh.
And
Ow.
gets the Matthew George hit.
Yes, and tow straight away into pit road.
Yep. Definitely totaled it there. Not good. I'm sure you guys may be able to help us out since we're an Orange fan here. You guys, you can check out tomorrow here at In Defense Racing out there with Dustin Kleba and Cody Reeder out there. You guys definitely work out a channel out there at Spotify. Should be live and ready to go Tuesday morning since you guys are not being so lazy. They definitely talk about here with the National Open Race Association, real racing, and even a throwback to other stuff they've been doing out there. As Brian Jones drops off the track just a hair back there on 45, it's Crescent City. As he's working his way up to the front. But yeah, In Defense on Spotify. Find the Abraham Motorsport drivers out there, giving you guys an inside look at what NORA is looking to do. It's the podcast of the NORA Racing. Stella Racing is looking pretty wild out here as we got guys marching up the field and back on the field. Tucker is trying to do the unthinkable out there. He is broken under 9.5 seconds trying to run down Ryan Shelton. Now, I would say, you know, as we look at the big picture here, he was down over 15 seconds and shaved off 6. And is running Ryan Shelton down. Pit 1 lap prior to Ryan in the number 2 Ford. And right now, Dalton Tucker is looking to put his name in the winner's circle if he can. But Ryan Shelton, reaching past the halfway point here of this race, has got to figure out how to fend this guy off. Currently, we see Dalton Tucker there. Here comes Ryan Shelton across the line. It's going to be troublesome because here comes Dalton Tucker. It doesn't seem like very far, but 8.5 seconds now. Dalton Tucker's reeling him in. Wow.
Yeah, and he's rather relentless, I would venture to describe him. But, you know, this is, again, is one of those where if you're in a, whoop, there went a bumper over the fence. Wow.
I think it's still out there, just somebody's.
Okay. But just saw it out of the corner of my eye. But, yeah, okay, never mind. Because I think I've lost my total train of thought.
All right, Dalton Tucker trying to find a seam here. He finally gets it.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, the 19 of Cody Reeder behind him. Quick pick up the
Yeah, when
pace.
he can run his own line because he doesn't have traffic around him, he can put down some blistering pace. But Ryan Shelton right now holds the best time of the night with an 118.042. But Dalton Tucker is at a 118.141. I mean, that's 1/10 of a second. That could be made up very easily.
Yep. Oh, yeah. We're taking a look at even the last lap times. And Dalton Tucker, 2 laps ago, was 2 seconds faster. Last lap was a second faster. Taking a look at our times now as they come across the line. Well, it flip-flops. Ryan Shelton with a 118.89. Dalton Tucker with a 120.5. That does go ahead and stretch Ryan Shelton back out to a 10-second lead. Right now, I think he'd like to throat punch the 19 Ford out there for getting in his way. he was starting to reel him in, but 26 laps left to go, tons of traffic left to go, and Ryan Shelton looking right now at a clear track in front of him here. He has got a long way before he considers catching anybody out there, and right now, still, I'm going to say, pretty decent feeling for the rest of the drivers out there. They're 10 seconds in front of Ryan Shelton, and currently, he's just got his race to run. I mean, he's got plenty of gap between the rest of these guys. But let's check back in on Vincent Arp. This is him passing Tony Ball here.
Wow.
As for the 4th position, looks like Tony
He's
Ball
worked his way all the way back up from that lap 1 caution. But somebody who's having a rough time. I saw a little off track for Cavan. And he is now sitting down in pit for over a minute. I'm wondering if he made some ugly contact.
That he did.
Oh, yes, he did. That wasn't just a run through the sand.
Nope. Yeah, Baldwin definitely dealing with some right front damage. We'll see see if he is able to return here tonight. Guileless still has yet to return. Jeff Dillon has taken it back to the garage. Ryan Hausman has taken it back to the garage.
Ooh. Wow.
Hausman. Top 10 start. Started, I believe, in the 7th position.
He was riding high there for a while, for sure.
He was top 3. Fortunately got marched out here.
Well, there we are with 25 laps to go.
Trying to find a battle out here. Taking a look for John Scavendini. This is currently him trying to put some pressure on Chase Durheim.
Jacob Gladelick is about to overtake, if he can, Cody Smith down there in 16-17.
Taking a peek a little bit there. Right now, everybody's starting to separate.
Oh.
I think that's actually Connor over to the inside. Gladelick going ahead and getting out of the way. Smith, just on that turn, gains a second.
He's like hitting that 10. I mean, I didn't think he was supposed to go over like 9,500 RPMs or something.
But that's a good way to blow an engine.
Yeah. Hey, I saw Days of Thunder.
All right. Speaking of which.
Uh-oh.
Nice little spoiler out there. You know Days of Thunder 2 is in the making.
I heard there was a little whisper, and Jeff Gordon was kind of like, yes.
Yes. That's almost as much big news as Spaceballs 2 coming.
I was waiting for that. That sounds like your speed.
Absolutely. Something tells me that's going to be world known. That's going to be a box office breaker. Keep an eye on it. Where is Eric Esser? This dude is really putting the pressure here on one of our top drivers, currently sitting top 10. That's Brian Jones in the 45. Notice that time machine getting ready to mix it up with him out there.
And he is Eric Esser is currently sitting in 18th, but like you say, he is in the mix.
Awesome. Stella, right now, why don't we take a look at Logan Hagerman out there? I believe he is trying to outrun Derek Chapuis out there in the 38 M&M's machine. Pit road's starting to heat up a little bit. Now, I don't know if this is on time. Currently, Jacob Gladelick heading down into pits as we get a beautiful view of the stands that we don't really care about. Good Lord. Get it figured out. There we are. All right, Jacob Gladelick. Currently sitting 18th. Christopher Darling came down into pits. Oddly enough, Dustin Kaliba rejoining back down into pit road. Guarantee of 4 tires of fuel for that car. He's got to figure out how to turn his race around here.
Our leader is coming in.
Yep, Ryan Shelton. This will be his last pit stop here of the day, as long as there's no trouble out of his car. John Scavanicki in front of him. And oddly enough, yes, that is our 10th place driver driving into his pit box as the leader is right behind him. So that's got to be a disheartening feeling. Dalton Tucker now assumes the lead. So currently, what holds Dalton Tucker between him and the next guy is 33 seconds. As we find all the way back here with Brian Jones entering pit, so now it's even farther back. Brady Moats. Let's see if Moats comes down pit. Nope, Moats is going to stay out. And originally, Moats was going to be about 41 seconds off the pace. So Ryan Shelton has already worked his way back out of pit road. And
it wasn't a blazing fast pit time, but he still made it faster than before Brady Moats could even make the option.
Yep, Moats will sit 16 seconds behind Ryan Shelton. They can hold this position here. Remember, Dalton Tucker is still going to need to pit. Pit times are looking somewhere about 50 to 52 seconds. And Dalton
here he comes.
Takes a shot.
Okay. So he's up 25 seconds, and you're saying the pit road versus pit stall, I mean, including pit stall, is 50 seconds? Oh, oh my goodness. He'll have to make up another 24 seconds when he comes out.
And beaten Shelton's time.
Do you think he takes 2?
No.
Nope. You're absolutely right.
Not gonna make it. Ryan Shelton just now passing.
Oh.
Dalton Tucker, remember, he's going to be in the pit box much earlier from his qualifying time being so low. So he's got a lot more pit road to drive through here. And Dalton Tucker getting back on as he gets in front of our 13th place driver of Eric Essery. Dalton Tucker does sit in second. Almost reassumes the exact position he started in.
And with only 10 seconds to make up.
Right. Well, that's where he was when the tires were starting to wear down. Brady Mote's 7 seconds off, but look who is knocking down the fastest time here of the night, only by 20 thousandths of a second. It's going to go to Vincent Arthur here, knocking a 118.02 after pitting on lap number 43.
Nice. Ooh, don't hit that wall.
Well, still within striking distance, Vincent Arthur needs to come up with 5.5 seconds to find Brady Mote.
Yep, that would put him back on the podium.
See right here with Brady Mote looking off the back. That little car you see moving around out there, that's Vincent Arthur. I would say it's a much better feeling when you can look back. And, or you can look forward and actually see the driver you need to pass to get your next position. To me, you know, drivers like Dalton Tucker, yeah. He's out there somewhere, I believe you. Check back
Nick
in.
Geilis is rolling again.
Oh, Geilis is not one to quit. Geilis
I am impressed.
He can keep going. I think if he can complete 3 more laps, he'll actually be in 21st position.
Okay, yep.
Yeah,
because Houston packed it up. Oh, and he's off track.
Do I want to look?
No. I do believe Kevin Baumler has taken it back to the garage.
Yep.
Yes? Okay.
I think so. I'm showing his pit time not continuing.
Correct.
It does look like he left the box. Pit crew is not working. Normally, Stell, this is when the repairs have completed. And he needs to drive off. Yeah, see, he's left the box.
Huh.
So the rest were optional repairs, and he decided not to do them, but now has not taken off.
Maybe he's hanging out and spotting for his team?
Might be a possibility. 99 here. Slinging on around the 43.
Sitting in the top 10.
Yep. Good move
Up
by
18.
Chance. Holy cow. Stella, we are starting to pick up times here. Ryan Shelton. Take a look. I'll get our best times up toward the top. Ryan Shelton with a 1:17.92. Dalton Tucker faster than that. Holy cow. We were kind of saying that's awesome sub 119, 118.
Yeah.
These guys are breaking into 117s now. They are noticing with less than 20 laps left to go here, it's time to pick up the pace. Currently Dalton Tucker with 8.8 seconds to find our leader. Currently,
He's
Ryan
shaving
Shelton,
it off every lap.
Ryan Shelton has not been dealing with any traffic. And Dalton Tucker has.
And he's still cut in on him now by 2.5 seconds.
Yep.
From when he came out of pit.
Last time, 1:18.29 by our leader, 1:17.97 by Dalton. Yeah. Dalton has a new purpose here. He's starting to reel him in.
I was going to say, he's using every bit of that track, too.
We've seen guys overheat the tires, and we talked about this before. Dalton has got to be careful. There's one thing of marching down time. You don't want to overheat the car. Shelton finally hitting a little bit of traffic here. Now get him a little leg up, as this is now starting to chop into the top 10. Chase Durheim is down a lap, and that was Cody Reeder he just passed. Next will be his own teammate of Dustin Cleveland. I think it's about a light year out there before he can get there. Brian Jones, Dustin Cleveland, Cody Reeder, all of Evernham Motorsports at 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, well, Cody Reeder's coming into pits, so that may change up real quick here.
Yep. Smoke out there on the track. 19 coming down. Still looking at our pit times. May have overlooked this. Cody Reeder coming down for his second time here tonight. This is actually his second pit stop. That's how long he's been hanging out there.
That's a while.
Right, so keep that in mind. Cody Reeder
Of our gentlemen that are
pit.
still rolling, there's only a few that have come down for a third pit stop.
Yep.
Most everybody is just on 2.
Yep. Most of your third pit stops actually consisted of our lap 1 record.
Okay, makes sense.
Yep. Cody Reeder last pit on 22. He comes in on lap 48.
Okay.
Interesting to see that Cody Reeder will actually be our guy on the freshest tires out there, sitting in 14th. He doesn't lose a whole lot of positions, though. He was in 9th. But if he wishes to get back to that position, he's got to make up about 31 seconds to find Chase Durheim. He's currently been passed by Dalton Tucker. Tucker now under 8 seconds. Trying to find Ryan Shelton out there. 16 laps left to go. Stella, I don't know if he's got enough time to do it.
I don't either. I was trying to calculate how much he was gaining per lap, and it looks like he'll be short.
A minimum of half a second a lap, because then you still need laps to pass him. Dalton Tucker's going to do everything he can. Maybe we'll see a little mess up there by Ryan Shelton.
Oh.
Not rooting on that the guy gets in trouble, but right now this guy's been flawless all race. Maybe we'll see him mess up. I doubt it. As currently Ryan Shelton, this guy, look at that clear track.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in front.
Front and behind.
Behind. Good Lord. Yeah, he could almost coast here. 7.5 seconds. Dalton Tucker needs to make up here.
You know, they have 47,000 seats at this track, which I consider okay. That's, you know, pretty good because it's a road course and all that. But they go up now that they're using the hillside as of this 2004 year, 64,000 people. That's a lot of people on the hill.
Yep. Oh, man. It looks like almost a controlled slide whenever they do that. Great racing here so far. 15 laps left to go. One caution out here tonight. And we haven't seen anybody in trouble since lap 35 when Nick Gillis sent it back off the track. We can take a quick peek at that.
Oh.
After Gillis has gotten his repairs complete. Wow, that car did not want to rotate, did it?
No. Go back, talk to that pit crew.
Yeah. Think.
But he has made that 21st position that you were talking.
Yep. Okay, this is the one we were
about.
looking at. That's the one I was wondering when we kind of queued in right after his pit stop. Oh, Jacob Vladalik tuned in. Says Vladalik went off track there for a moment.
listening to us.
Yep, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Almler is active again.
Aha! Yes, he is. He says, Nick Geilis, catch me if you can.
Yeah, I guarantee he's wishing he spent a good chunk of that time. That extra 2.5 minutes. Down pit road in the box.
Well, maybe he had to make a pit stop. Vincent Arthur creeping up on Brady Moats. He's within a second behind him here, which is close in comparison to most of our other drivers.
Trying to downshift as fast as I can. One of the guys
That
that has highlighted a track like this for the kind of footwork that he actually had pedals designed was Ricky Craven. Jay's still tuned out there. He knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know. He stopped counting, so he might have fallen asleep.
Long race for him here. All right, Vincent Arthur. These guys are working around the number 15. I think they're fighting my control. Vincent Arthur now to under 3/4 of a second.
Oh, yeah. It looks like he wants that podium position from Brady Moats. Man, they fight this wheel. And to think that this year, this is all fresh pavement. They did some of it during the 2003 year and finalized it in 2004. So you would think that they would be fighting so much of the bumps and whatnot that they do at some of these other tracks. But it doesn't appear so with that wheel movement.
Boy, and that's where he makes up a ton of time. Unfortunately, loses it right back. Gets in there a little too hot. Has to back it out just a little bit. Try to run down Brady Moats.
We have another challenge out there too. Looks like Dustin Kleba is trying to take on number 45 of Brian Jones, of which we have several fans out in the chat. Hey, there's Jay. He heard Ricky Craven.
Yep.
Yeah. He said the 10, the 28, and the 32.
Alright, hold on just a second. Stellar may shift back. Bad turn, knocks him down to 1.5 seconds.
Oh.
They're trying to play off here with the lap traffic. Brady Moats escaping for one more lap.
Vincent Arthur's about to make that pass.
Yep, taking a look.
With 11 laps to go, this is going to be a rough run for Brady Moats, having the number 24 on his rear bumper the whole time.
Only had one mistake all race that cost them the lead. Been unable to retrieve and get it back. Currently, right now, the hottest race out here. Currently, the battle for that third spot.
It is. Dalton Tucker has brought that gap down to
Dumped
6
him.
seconds. Oh, no. Not.
Yep, expect Brady Motes to retaliate. Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Check it out there to see if somebody's radioing up.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't
baby.
know.
That was going to get ugly.
Yep. Now, speaking of ugly, Josh Conover has been in his pit stall for 2.5 minutes. Do we know why?
Yes, it says Josh Conover had crashed here, but we did have to stop the radio chatter here. Let's take a look back at Conover.
Ooh,
ouch.
Oh, no.
Off the tires.
He's just looking for a barrel award.
Brady Motes slows down.
Is this current?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Right. Hold on a second. Let's take a peek at what caused our scuffle before here.
Okay.
Vincent Arthur sends it into the inside. Brady Motes able to recover and hooks back.
He did.
Right there. Clink.
He did.
And sends him around again.
1, 2, 3, at least 3 cars in between them, but no longer.
That looked like lapped cars as they let them pass. Brady Motes seems to have let off the gas. He held 4 seconds to let Vincent Arthur almost catch him back.
Yes. He is again under a second behind him.
Let's check in on Dustin Kleba.
But I'd like to make note that the 02 of Tony Ball is sitting back in the catbird seat, waiting for number 3 and 4 there in 3rd and 4th place to do some of their shenanigans again, and he is going to be standing on that podium. He is right behind Vincent Arthur.
I wonder if Brady Motes is trying to prove a point here. Why would a driver? I guess he figures he can't get up to second.
No.
So he said, might as well keep the race going with Vincent Arthur. If it was an interesting move, then let's redo it. Lets off and lets Vincent Arthur catch him.
But then pulls away, kind of giving the example of, I think this is my car.
You never should have touched me to begin with?
Yeah.
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 That's almost what it seems like.
Don't put your finger in my eye.
All right, so what is going on with Skabanicki out here? Shows he has some trouble out there. Number 70 to the inside. 43 has no idea.
Oh.
And this is where Vincent Arthur gets
Oh.
caught. So he was catching him, but the 43 was sideways. And that should be the 70 of Anthony Kroback who got him turned around.
Yes. Yes, and he just went down pit road, I do believe. Yeah, he's off track.
There. I think this thing's getting ready to open up. Now that Vincent Arthur's got nothing between him and Brady Motes. Give it to Vincent Arthur, though. He has been making up a ton of time out here. As Dustin Kleba off track. Fortunately, no drive-thrus as of yet.
No.
Track breaker when he has to come down again.
No, Eric Essery has not come down since lap 38.
Yeah, he's going to be definitely, he should be good on fuel, though. 66 laps in the race. So he should be 2 laps to the plus side, which would be really good for him, but unfortunately he's the first car a lap down here. Cody Kite has been passed. Chase Duron. Sitting there waiting to see when Ryan Shelton will catch him.
Cody Smith off track again. This one might be bad. Yeah, this one's bad.
I think he's returning back to the track. Whoop, little tire slip again. Yeah, he's out of shape, already gone. Well, the reason I bring up, you bring up Cody Smith, which I like kind of zooming in on here. That's Ryan Shelton catching him here. Right now, Dalton Tucker saying, hold him, hold him, hold him, as he breaks to 6 seconds. It's not enough time here.
No, unless, like you say, unless Ryan Shelton does something crazy like looping it. Probably looking at 1 and 2 as we speak.
Yeah. I'm waiting to see if Tony Ball is considering taking over Vincent Arthur here.
Me too, because he is right on his tail.
Well, Vincent Arthur did need that damage from the spin out earlier. There with John Scavenicki and Kroback. That front nose damage here to the 24 is really hindering him.
I see that. Just can't quite find an angle to get around him.
No. Vincent Arthur's everywhere. Currently, Vincent is now falling off by 2 seconds. Not coming up with anything here.
Dalton Tucker has broken into the 5-second range.
Yep.
Catching up on Ryan Shelton.
Cody Reeder looking for 12. Reels in Kroback. Ryan Jones still looking pretty close with Dustin Kleba behind him.
Jacob Gladelick creeping up on Christopher Darling.
Yeah, we talked a ton about Christopher Darling out there at Pocono and out there at Michigan. He's kind of getting whooped up a little bit out here. Number 16, who remains in 16th, still without a front bumper.
We don't need no stinking bumpers.
I guess so.
Well, I mean, you're saying that little bitty ding on the front of Vincent Arthur's bumper is causing him hassle. I mean, he's running with no bumper at all. Goodness.
So Brian Jones, Kleba steps on it. Let's see if he can reel him in here. Noticing as we ride along with these drivers, everybody lets off right here around this turn. And they almost coast as they head up the hill and let the hill slow them down.
Well, this place has the highest elevation, differential. And that's between, let's see, turn 3A, they're at 174 feet. By the time they get to turn 10, they're at 14 feet. So it's a total of 160 feet of elevation variation.
Cool.
Yeah. No, you know what's cool? They have 20 owl boxes strategically placed out here to encourage owls to nest to control the rodent population. That's cool.
After the track.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those, I didn't really want to know that because, I have concession stands and stuff. But yes, absolutely.
Wow. So Josh Conover currently sits down in pit road here. The number 8 Budweiser machine is Not completely checked out yet, but 12 minutes in the box. We're going to do him in. I don't think
so.
Gillis is going to have enough time to get that 20th position that he's been seeking for so long here.
No.
Now, I was noting that Kevin Ballmer was taking a look for it. A couple of guys skating around out there. Kleba, finally, I think Kleba's got him. Kleba here to the inside of Brian Jones, switches it up, and Kleba having to step on it to keep him off.
Because Brian Jones was just doing a fishtail back there, something fierce. Now, I don't know if Kleba touched him and got him out of shape, just to make, you know, make him check up. But, yeah, that was what he's been waiting for the whole time. Okay, we got 2 laps to go. There are 4,000 sheep that live on the grounds to tend the grass at this place. You laughed at the owls. I had to give you the sheep. Oh, nope, he did it all by himself.
Yep.
This is California. Come on.
Are we still talking about the sheep?
Yes.
Okay. Drive.
No. No. That was bad.
Yep. Yep. Dustin Kleba does make the pass here for the 6th position, putting Ryan Jones in the rearview mirror. White flag next time by for Ryan Shelton, which should be coming out momentarily, as he is currently 53 seconds ahead of Ryan Shelton. White flag should be coming this time by. There it is. What a lead he has. 4 seconds between him and Dalton Tucker. And Dalton has got to be hanging his head here, as he has tried so hard.
Oh, nothing to hang his head about. I mean, he's made 6 seconds back up since that pit stop.
I want to know why Dalton Tucker has such a horrible qualifying time. I mean, this is, if he had qualified top 5 like his times promote, then he should be the one winning this race here. Or it should have been Shelton, Tucker, and Moats, which it is, just in a different order. Because Moats is insanely 37 seconds and a half back from placing the goal here tonight. So it does mean he can lay down a fast lap, but the consistency didn't stick with him, though. He is going to have to readjust the process out there, as Ryan Shelton only half a lap away from taking the checkered flag here for the Penske Jasper team. He is getting ready to nail the final corner here. Oh, full sends it. Slide through. That almost looks like his first mess up here of the night. And we're going to poke him about that as he is coming to the win here on the podium position. The number 2 Miller Light Machine takes the win. Dalton Tucker is closely behind as he nails 2nd. And battle for 3rd here between Brady Moats and Vincent Arthur. Currently sitting Vincent Arthur about 3.3 seconds off Tony Ball. He's got to make the move now if he wants 4th. Watch Tony Ball looking to stick it in there. Vincent Arthur in there to block. Block to the inside. Tony Ball's going to have to switch up and see if he can slice back to the inside. No, he cannot. Brady Moats crosses the line for 3rd. Vincent Arthur is going to be 4th. Tony Ball in 5th. Stella, did I just see Chase Durheim disconnect here? That'd be the most insane thing ever.
No, I'm watching Eric Essery and Anthony Kroback that were going back and forth, and Kroback has gone ahead, taken the 11th place, even past Cody Reeder. So, my goodness. Way to race it to the finish. Uh-oh. Oh, do not do donuts. Okay. I saw smoke and I was worried that he was starting his celebration before
No,
the
I would
rest
assume
of the
that's
field.
probably a burnout. He can do a burnout, you just can't turn around on the track. You can't reckless drive.
Okay. Ever since I saw that DQ, while somebody was still limping in, you know, yeah, and that was painful.
Yeah, that would be.
No,
Well,
that's not
what do you
funny.
do? You're like, oh man, I did so well. I did so. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You know, it's just. All right. Getting everybody ready to go here as currently we are watching Ryan Shelton doing his burnouts here as he wins it. Definitely hung on though. What a race. What a race. Stella, I hate to divert your eyes from the burnouts. I hope you notice the guys are over there at the drag strip that I believe last year actually ended up Antron Brown won at that drag strip, at the Sonoma drag strip. As Ryan
He
Shelton
has better luck there than he does at Bristol then.
He does. Ryan Shelton down there on the start-finish line.
Do you think they're Jacob's waiting for somebody?
Yeah, I know.
The stage.
Everybody's getting a clue here. Okay, we cannot promote this kind of thing. Okay. All right, everybody enjoying it here. Guys, don't forget to check In the Fence podcast out there on Tuesday mornings where they're going to be locking, loading, and talking to you guys about what they do out here. All right, awesome job out there. Right now, we are going to line up our guys, and we'll be right back. All right, third place finisher here tonight goes to Brady Moats. Scored on the pole here tonight. One little fumble. Ryan Shelton takes over. And, man, you had nothing but a battle from the back. Talk to me about the race out here.
Oh, yeah, man, we were out there battling for third and just glad to be up there. Running top three. Led a few laps, got some good bonus points. Needed a good points today. Just proud of what we had today in the one car. Awesome. Good day for us. Solidly, honestly, came here with a goal of having a podium. So, came out with a podium and on to Daytona?
Yes.
On to Daytona.
Nice.
All right. Well, I like to poke just a little bit out here, and we were watching the battle between you and Vincent Arthur. Now, it seemed you let off the gas and let him catch back up. And what was going on here?
So, I'm going to be blunt. I get hit in the middle of the corner, okay, and ran over, essentially. So, I don't care what you want to say if I brake checked or whatever. I did not brake check. I'm running my line, man. I ran the same line for, at that point, however many laps it was, probably about 60. So, I come out of the corner, and I'm like, okay, I kind of lose my bearings trying to gather my car back up, and I turn into his right rear, and I spin him a complete 180. Well, then, at that point, I'm like, well, shoot, I didn't mean to freaking make that look awful, because that looks really freaking bad. Like, oh no. So now I'm gone by like 8 seconds, and I'm literally sitting there, and then Cody's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm stopping. I'm coming back to him so we can start this battle over again. Like, because obviously I just punted him. I look like a big old dummy. Like, I don't want to do that. And, yeah, Cody's just like, okay, whatever. So Cody blows back by me as a lap car. We just got through lapping him and all that. And then we go through the end of this race, and I just come on the radio trying to apologize to Vincent, and he just nukes, like, just straight crash out. And honestly, now I don't really feel sorry. Truthfully, like, I really don't. I don't even feel sorry anymore. Now I wish I would have just maintained my 8 seconds and just kept going. I was trying to be a nice guy and let him come back to me and everything like that, and I can't help the lap cars wrecked in front of us, you know, like whatever, it is what it is. But like, I don't know. Now I don't even feel sorry, honestly. Like if you're gonna crash out like that and act that crazy and be wild like that, whenever I'm trying to like be genuinely sorry, and I understand you didn't get the position, sure, whatever. But like, man, don't act like that. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, we took a couple.
I've done it. Now I know it's kind of hypocritical of me to say I've done it. Now I'm trying to grow up and like be better and not do that junk anymore because that's kind of ridiculous. But I don't know, man. It's just you can only also take so much too, and I don't know. I understand him being heated because he got caught up in that crash of the lap cars. I don't know if y'all got that on the broadcast too or not, but
yes.
Hey, man, just like don't crash out, and I won't feel this way because now I don't even care. Like, okay, cool, man, you finished fourth, what to do? Yeah. Go, and then you wreck me after the checkers and just keep beating my doors in and everything like that. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do about that, but that's kind of ridiculous too. But doesn't really look good on the league either. Kind of unprofessional, but whatever, man. It is what it is. We'll go on to Daytona and we'll go on about it. And I'm sure me and Vinny will have a conversation here probably in about 5 minutes and literally just hash it out and then be good to go, man. It ain't gonna be no big deal. Truthfully, me and him go way back, and honestly, he's taught me a lot, and I can appreciate that. And him and Josh both. And honestly, I was gonna credit him with the podium, like with me being up here. But I mean, now if you're gonna act like that, no.
Woosah, my man. All right, well, we took a couple different angles of what happened. It did look like you took the same. He tried to dive bomb it in there a little bit, and it did look like you retaliated and dumped him. But I did give you kudos because I even told Stella, I think Brady Moats let off the gas to let Vincent Arthur catch back up and try to go. I say, you know what? You spun me out. I spun you back out. Let's try this again. Maybe without some lap traffic around us. And you let him catch back up, and Vincent Arthur started bleeding off a little bit, and then didn't get in that wreck. Was rather unfortunate, but I can't say you guys can do that at Daytona next week. How coming off a race like this, how does this feel between the two of you guys out there?
No, like I said, man, we'll hash it out here in about 5 minutes, man. We'll just talk on Discord, and we'll probably be all good. But I mean, he's gonna understand like not to crash out, and obviously I understand. I pitted him, but he's also got to understand he did a little bit of wrong too. So, I mean, and like I said, like, cooler heads prevail. It'll all be all right. No big deal. We're going to go on next week. Nothing's going to happen. No big deal.
Awesome. All right, Brady Moats, go ahead and give me a shout out to brother.
Shout out my wife. Just let me do this on Tuesday or on Monday. Sorry. And then shout out to Josh and all the guys that have pretty much just taught me how to be fast, going right and left. It's definitely one of my better things I'm good at on this sim, I guess, and in this car and all that. I just shout out to those guys, and then just shout out to Cody and Josh and all them for being clean and being good teammates tonight.
Yeah, a lot of clean racing out here. Just everybody making a little bit of mishaps out there, just this track is extremely tough to overcome, and definitely we saw a ton of that. Brady Moats, haven't seen you in the podium for a little while, brother, but great job here tonight. We'll see you at Daytona.
Thanks, Pat. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right.
May not have seen him in the podium for a while, but Brady Moats is only one of 5 who have been here for every single race so far this season.
Yeah.
I give kudos for that too.
Regardless, even if it was start and park or anything like that, that guy's been shifting around all night here. Right now, I see Brady Moats going down there to Hendrick Motorsports, and he's going to go ahead and explain himself and his side. But somebody who's got some explaining to do, and I want to talk here to the man, the myth, the legend, sitting in second place of Dalton Tucker. Now, Dalton Tucker, dude, I don't know how else to explain it, but I want you to give me a good reason why in the world you started outside the top 20 tonight.
So when I qualified, I got an off track on the first lap. Second lap, the USB on my wheel, every time I would turn to the right, it would disconnect and my game would freeze like every single right-hand turn.
Oh.
So both my laps were kind of just trash at that point.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That, man, because
that explains it, Patrick.
Well, I joked that if Dalton Tucker had qualified well, this would be you in winner's circle. I don't quite. You shaved off so much time out there got through a few wrecks, watched a couple guys spin out, and still come in second, and we're within 4.5 seconds of the race win. Really got to hats off to you, man. This race was I'm sure for you was a ton of fun. We rode along with you for some time out there, trying to see what the difference was, and you actually were knocking down some faster times. You were one of the only people, along with Ryan Shelton, that knocked down a 1:17 lap time, while everybody else was beyond that. I mean, talk to me about how this race went for you.
Well, I joked with some guys early before the race. I was like, "There's no way I finish, even come home with a clean car," because I was like, I'm mid-pack, somewhere in the back. There's no way I can get through this. And I mean, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but that's might be the best race I've ever ran on iRacing, and it wasn't a win, but that was the most fun, the most challenging. Just, I mean, that's all I had. I put everything out there, and I mean, if Ryan just wasn't quite that fast, I think I could have got him, but he ran a heck of a race too with all the different challenges he had up front.
Yeah. Well, both you guys running through lap traffic, the different track conditions changing out there. I mean, it was 120 degrees out there on the track, and it's going to be extremely tough. I think some of this heat will actually transfer over to Daytona next week. Confidence level heading there, man, because there's a lot of things that can happen when you guys get to Daytona. I mean, I think there's going to be elimination rounds of who is going to be qualifying there. Have you run your qualified setup yet?
Yeah, I ran it before this race. It's just gonna be a crapshoot. I've won races at Daytona that I shouldn't have. I've lost races that I thought I had locked up. So it's just a hit or miss with that place. And with this being a new car, I'm not quite sure how the pushing's gonna be, how the drafting is. It's gonna be kind of learn as you go.
Yeah, I heard the Fords are doing pretty well on the pushing out there. The Chevrolets are the ones having a little bit of trouble, so that's going to put you on the back foot for yet another race, which unfortunately, boy, you just keep coming in and doing the consistency thing, man. You are definitely making it work, and I hope to see you qualify and make it for the next round. I've heard you've been sending guys home for week after week, so Dalton, good luck to you out there, buddy. Give me your shout-outs, and we'll get to it here.
First and foremost, I got to give a shout out to Ryan Shelton. I joined a practice lobby with him, and he gave me a ton of tips. And I wish I could have beat him with those tips, but I'll take a second to him any day. He's a heck of a guy, heck of a racer. Big shout out to him. As always, I was glad to see Michael back racing with us. I hate that he got caught up in something early, but it was good to have him back on the team. I want to say Rochelle had something happen early, so I hate to see that, but glad both of them joined. As always, I got to give a shout out to Josh. I have never been in a road course race with this many people, and lo and behold, I'm in the back of the pack starting. So I hated to see that part of it, but it was awesome to see that many people. And as always, can't wait to go watch what y'all put on, and it'll be interesting to kind of, I guess, watch some of my laps on board just to see what I was doing, because it's a lot different when you're in the car and kind of sweating. But glad this is over. Can't wait for next week.
Yeah.
The one thing I wish we had on tape was your practice launch into space.
Yeah, at the end of practice.
That was a thing of beauty.
I want to say I probably would not have made that crash.
Well, we take a look at both your drivers, of Mike Moultrie and Kyle Rochelle. Neither one of them made it past lap number 7, and you coming in for second. Congratulations on your finish there, Dalton. And we will see what you can do at Daytona. Good luck to you out there, buddy.
All right, thank y'all.
All right. Well, Dalton Tucker pretty excited about that as we move on to Ryan Shelton, who don't believe we've ever talked to before. Ryan Shelton, talk to me about this race here, dude. Definitely a lot of things you ended up beating out of these drivers out there, and especially with damage to the front nose of that race car.
Yeah, it was. It definitely hurt. damage on the front of it. Between that and got into the wall late in that second run or the third run, so car slowed down just a little bit, and I got kind of scared there about halfway through that run as Dalton started to catch up. But we built enough of a lead throughout the race that got us to win tonight.
All right. Well, we saw you keep tumbling around out there on the track. I've got to say, this is a great night for the Penske Jasper Racing team. They definitely, I have yet to see one of these team members come in the winner's circle here this season. And I guarantee you this is going to be really great out there for drivers like Nick Gillis, who are praying you guys can charge up to the front. How did it feel behind the race car here tonight, especially since Dalton Tucker's even giving you kudos for giving him pointers tonight?
Yeah, we worked a little bit last night. I kind of just had like an open session for anybody, and if anybody wanted some tips, I'd give them out. And he was the only taker. And
wow.
But he showed out, and he went from 20 something position to up there in second. So he ran a great race. If he would have qualified better, I think he would have had the shot to pass me. I think he was quicker than me all night. He just didn't have the starting position. But overall, car felt decent. I wish the car had a little more feedback in the front end, so I could tell what it was doing. But other than that, we ran fine.
All right. So you sat behind Brady Motes for a minimum of, I believe, about 10 to 12 laps. Were you just reading his race, or were you just waiting for him to make the mistake and then go for it?
I wanted to make sure to pass clean. I mean, it's a long race. We got 66 laps. I only needed to pass one guy. I know something happened with the 40. He was fast, but I think he ended up getting in the back a couple of people going into the hairpin. But other than that, I just wanted to make sure I had a clean race. I didn't want to get myself in trouble, get myself back in traffic, because this place is hard to pass at. So I was just wanting to make the right pass, not just any pass. So wait until I could get a spot to open up. I needed to figure out where I was faster than him at, and found it and took it. And we banged doors there for a minute, but it seemed like it was pretty good, hard, clean racing.
All right, taking a look at the points here. I don't see you lined up for any points after Michigan or anything like that. So Ryan Shelton, will I see you return back for Daytona next week?
Yeah, last week was my very first race. I'm just filling in the 2-car for the time being, and then next week I'll be going to my new car, which will be the 06, and that will be my full-time car. And hopefully I get to come back up here and speak with y'all again in that car.
Wow. Well, that's pretty impressive when you said that the student almost beats the teacher here tonight. So might have to check up on the pointers and tips you give out there. Especially for the way you and Dalton Tucker ran tonight. Congratulations on your win, here, buddy. I have a feeling something tells me we're going to be talking a little more frequently. So we'll see. We'll kind of cut it short here. Give me your shout-outs, and we'll see you here in podium positions.
Just shout out to y'all for putting on a great watch, and shout out to the league for putting out a really, really good league. A bunch of great guys. Didn't see any problems tonight. Had a bunch of really good racing. Had a bunch of really good racing last week, and big full grids of some old school cars is really nice. So definitely be back for the rest of the season for sure.
Yep, and great job out there to Joey Stats and Josh Conover for reeling this many drivers, and this for SimTraX is a record-breaking number for a road course. 32 drivers to take behind the wheel at the start-finish line. All right. Ryan Shelton, congratulations, buddy, and we'll see how you do next week.
Yeah, man, thank you.
All right, Ryan Shelton, awesome job here tonight, bringing the Rusty Wallace car into winner's circle. Appreciate you guys for joining us out there in the chat, taking a look at what this race had to bring us and all the little loop-de-loops that everybody was doing, kicking the sand up onto the track here in California, and what a tough race this can be. Stella, I've got to admit, out of the 3 leagues we are running here with NORA here on Monday, we are running the Bandit Racing League on Wednesday and NSR on Saturday. I've got to admit, over the past 2 to 3 weeks, there isn't a league I am not broadcasting that isn't starting to pick up popularity. and the racecraft is getting much, much better out there. And I'm excited to see what is in the upcoming weeks.
Well, that, stands to reason. The better the racing gets, the more people come out to watch it, and then once they watch it, they join in. It's kind of a win-win situation.
Yep, well, we won't blame it all here on the broadcast. These guys are doing a heck of a job behind the scenes. That should do it for us here at SimTraX Broadcasting, bringing you the National Oval Racing Association. Next week, I will find you at Daytona. This is going to be an excellent race, seeing these guys get back to a restrictor plate track. But until then, be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all you guys next time.